Now, powerful tsunamis have struck parts of Russia's far east and northern Japan after a massive magnitude 8.8 earthquake rocked the Pacific region. Authorities in Russia's far eastern Sakhalin region have declared a state of emergency in the northern Kuril Islands, where tsunami waves have damaged buildings and have caused flooding.
Show me the sound from here. That's okay. That's okay. The lifeguards in Honolulu, Hawaii, cleared the beach and prompted tsunami warnings and evacuation stretching across the Pacific Ocean.
Everyone evacuate the beach. All lifeguards will be leaving at 5 p.m. Even the police will be evacuating at 6 p.m.
I would imagine that HPD right now is out there trying to move traffic along to the best of their ability. I know we've gotten some calls that it is horrible and people are in gridlock, and that's, all I could ask is for people to keep their calm, and we'll try to move things along as best we can.
In Russia's remote far east, the port town of Severokurilovsk was flooded after a tsunami swept through. Now here's the moment when the tsunami crashed over the coastline in Russia's far east region. The authorities say the town's roughly 2,000 residents were evacuated in time. Officials have confirmed that several people were injured during the quake, but none seriously. The quake is now the strongest to have hit Russia's Kamchatka region since 1952. Russia's regional governor has asked for calm. A kindergarten was damaged in Russia's far east. Kamchatka Krai's Minister for Emergency informed of the situation through social media. Now, across the Sea of Okhotsk, Japan's northern coast has also been impacted. Evacuation orders were issued from Hokkaido down to the eastern shores of Honshu after the initial tsunami wave reached Japan. Now, huge waves were seen reaching the coastline of Hokkaido in Japan. The Japan Meteorological Agency later upgraded its tsunami warning, forecasting some dangerous waves of up to 3 meters, with more waves expected to strike repeatedly.
The tsunami warning is still out from Hokkaido to Wakayama Prefecture. Tsunami advisories have been issued for other areas along the Pacific and some parts along the Sea of Japan side.
Now, Japan has suspended several coastal train services around Chiba, Yokohama and the Izu Peninsula. The Fukushima nuclear plant workers were evacuated as a precaution.
Attention please. Tsunami alert is issued now. The estimated time of arrival of the tsunami is around 11 a.m. It is hard to stay inside the hotels and outside. Please do not run out of the building and stay in the room. If on the basement or the first floor, please evacuate to the third or fourth floor using near status.
In the United States, alerts were sent to mobile phones from Alaska to California, where tsunami advisories remain in effect. The tsunami warning centers now say that waves of over 3 meters are possible along parts of Russia, the northwestern Hawaiian Islands and Ecuador. The coastal areas in Chile, French Polynesia, Guam, Costa Rica and Hawaii are bracing for a 1 to 3 meter waves, while regions from Mexico and Australia to Taiwan and New Zealand may see surges of up to 1 meter. In the Philippines, the authorities are urging residents on eastern seaboard to stay inland.
I myself was moving my things to a studio which is closer into town, and nobody's telling me anything.
All right, now joining us on the broadcast from Tokyo, we've got Mr. Benoit Hardy-Chartrand, who is a professor at the United Nations University in Tokyo. Professor, thank you very much indeed for joining us here on WION. And let me start off by asking you this. Now, considering the scale of this earthquake that has sparked off the tsunamis that have spread across the Pacific, give us a sense of how concerned people along the shorelines should be and what precautions should they take?
Well, certainly when the earthquake hit this morning, it was immediately the authorities here in Japan, where I am located, were very sensitive. They wanted to make sure that everyone knew about the dangers, because this was one of the largest earthquakes ever recorded, after all. 8.8 is a very high magnitude earthquake. So therefore, there were warnings of an impending possible tsunamis, and a large portion of the eastern coast of Japan was under evacuation orders because of the risks of large waves hitting the coastal towns. And of course, in Japan, only 14 years ago, we had the very large Fukushima disaster caused by an earthquake. So obviously, Japanese people are quite concerned about the possibility of an earthquake. But thankfully, so far, the waves have been quite small. The warning has not been completely lifted, but the waves have been quite limited so far, with no recorded damage and injuries in Japan, as opposed to eastern Russia, where there was some damage and injuries as well.
Right, now you're joining us from Tokyo in Japan. An estimated 1.9 million people were told to evacuate. Tsunami waves that were as high as about 1.3 meters were recorded. You know, considering that earthquakes are also followed by aftershocks, how is Japan bracing itself for it?
Well, certainly aftershocks are always a major concern. If you just go back to the 2011 disaster that I mentioned a few moments ago, there were numerous aftershocks, and some of these aftershocks can be almost as big, if not bigger, than the original shock wave. So therefore, the danger is still very much present. But as I mentioned earlier, even though there are risks, and there's still a lot of people in Japan that are under evacuation orders, that have been asked to move to higher ground or to move away from the coasts. The sense of danger, while still present, has certainly gone down since this morning. When I woke up this morning, the dangers were certainly being felt by people around me. People were talking about the dangers, but I would say since then that has subsided a little bit, the sense of impending danger.
All right, we'll have to leave there. Thank you very much indeed, Professor, for joining us from Tokyo and getting us that perspective there.
Thank you very much.